MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, MIT Art, Design and Technology University, Pune. India brings together the world's top tech women influencers leading the exponential technology domain and rising awareness on trending hot topics such as blockchain technology, data science, AI and ML, cybersecurity, cloud computing, metaverse, fintech, robotics, digital transformation and many more.
Join the second International Virtual Summit on Women Frontiers in Exponential Technology from 5th to 8th March 2022. Proudly organized by MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence India. Visit mitfuturesskills.org/WFET or call on 7066995599. Transform yourself into a winning professional.
A very good morning to one and all. This is Suruchi Bhatt, your host for the session. On behalf of MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, MIT Art, Design and Technology University, Pune, it is my pleasure to welcome all the esteemed guests and enthusiastic participants from all parts of the globe. This is the second International Virtual Summit on Women Frontiers in Exponential Technology, an initiative to listen to global stalwarts whose guidance will help us leap towards success in the dynamic digital world. At the outset, let me welcome our lovely keynote speaker, Ms. Rupa Singh, founder AI-Beehive, AI-Ethicist and Thought Leader. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure being here on Women's Day and participating on second International Virtual Summit with MIT Pune. And it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. So shall I start my presentation? Shall I share?
Just a moment. We will go with the Saraswati Vandana first. So just a moment. MIT Art, Design and Technology believes in starting every journey of knowledge by seeking blessings from Goddess Saraswati. May I request you all to join your hands for Saraswati Vandana. Thank you very much. The MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, under the guidance of MIT Art, Design and Technology University, is proud to bring on one platform where women who are world motivators in technology come together. The second International Virtual Summit on Women Frontiers in Exponential Technology is an attempt to salute women who influence and motivate and create awareness on the power of emerging technologies and career growth. Dynamic technology is important, but so are the people who are concerned with it, and our shared humanity is something that we have preserved, whether on a personal or a professional level. The role of ethics in technology is to manage rather than control it. Continuous monitoring is required to stay on top of the latest innovations and technological changes, as well as to ensure fair practices. We have with us Ms. Rupa Singh, founder AI-Beehive. She herself is an AI ethicist and a thought leader who is trying to create awareness on AI ethics globally. But before we hand over the session, can I please request the technical team to play the AV?
Ms. Rupa Singh is the founder of AI-Beehive. She is an AI ethicist and a global thought leader on a mission to impact 100,000 plus in the field of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. She was featured on an international TV program in Atlanta, USA, as the guest speaker for sharing her experience in the paradigm shift of scientific discoveries and its myths and opportunities. Ms. Singh has provided 5,000 plus hours of training to 1,000 plus students in the field of data science, machine learning, business analytics, and artificial intelligence. She has over 14 years of experience as a business consultant and machine learning expert and has worked for large organizations across various domains. She is highly skilled in building scalable analytical solutions in the financial industry and has attained experience working in predictive analysis, machine learning, data visualization, reporting, and system design and functional consulting. Team MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, MIT ADT University Pune is honored to have Ms. Rupa Singh today for the second International Virtual Summit on Women Frontiers in Exponential Technology.
This session will be all yours now.
Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. And so I'll be starting with my session, sharing my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So today we'll be talking about AI ethics and you, and why we are talking about AI ethics. And in the course of like 40 to 45 minutes, we'll be learning about it. And I'll be sharing many interesting stories so that we understand about the technology and the ethical use of technology in a very fun and creative way. So around 10,000 years ago, human population was just 5 million. We were just 5 million of us. And whatever we could do, Earth's resilience was enough to sustain human activity. But as we grew and with the advent of agricultural revolution and industrial revolution, our population exponentially increased to around now 7.8 billion people on the earth. And the industrial revolution increased the consumerism. The more and more goods started producing and we started consuming more goods. And it also, with the advent of industrial revolution, our earth saw too many changes in terms of pollution, and we started exploiting our biodiversity and all our planetary boundaries. So some of the planetary boundaries that we are already on the verge of exploiting our planetary boundaries, such as chemical pollution, freshwater consumption, biodiversity loss, ocean acidity, agricultural land use, and ozone layer depletion. And as it is said that humans have great potential to do great goodness, but they also have great potential to do great harm. And we cannot underestimate the stupidity of human beings. Well, humans have always been driven by curiosity, and we have been creating, inventing from wheels to now we have rockets, launching rockets, and then we invented fire, and now in the era of artificial intelligence, we have robots. Not long ago, we had robots who couldn't walk, but now robots can also do backflips, and they can also dance on Justin Bieber songs. Then we created so many inventions when we invented fire. When we started screwing up a little bit, we invented fire extinguishers. We invented car, and then we screwed up a little bit, and then we invented seat belts, traffic lights, and airbags to protect us. But with these powerful technologies such as artificial intelligence and nuclear weapons, we cannot take a chance to screw up, because luckily we have just one planet, and we do not have three planets to make mistakes and learn from our mistakes. Since these technologies are very powerful, we need to figure out, before any we do any mistakes, we need to figure out how to steer it properly and how to what is our destination. So why do we have so much of why are we talking about artificial intelligence now? Since artificial intelligence, we have exploding volumes of data, and as we can see that there are so many applications generating millions amount of data every single minute. Like Facebook generates more than 3 million data every single minute, and then Twitter, YouTube, and Spotify, Netflix, and all these data are being generated because of the usage, because of the application of internet, cloud storage, cheaper cloud storage, and the advancement of technology. And all these technologies are shaping our lives. Well, artificial intelligence, these are high risk and high gain technologies, and it is already changing our lives. Uh, you know, we are already in the web of the technology. Everything what we are doing, whether we are talking to Alexa or Siri, or whether we are traveling, whether we are taking Google Maps, or looking for restaurant for in search of food, we are using technology in every single activity of our own. And all these technology, all these applications are generating millions amount of data every single minute. So currently we have two types of AI. One is narrow or weak AI, and the another one is general artificial intelligence, that is also called GAI. Narrow AI or weak AI is the artificial intelligence which is focused to do the specific task, such as whether you will buy, lie, or die, or also in case of face recognition or speech recognition, and also in case of self-driving cars. And currently we are experiencing narrow AI, but it is also expected that within few decades, some of the researchers say that we are likely to enter into general artificial intelligence, which is an artificial intelligence which has much more intelligence than our human beings, and it is as conscious as human beings, and it would have intelligence of all the human beings collectively. And we can think about sci-fi movies for artificial intelligence. And most of the people are scared that whether the artificial intelligence is going to end humanity. So will artificial intelligence end humanity? So the answer is any tools or technology do not have any intentions or any motivation to harm any human beings. It is our own human intentions which our human intentions have they want to harm or do harmful activities to other human beings or other creatures on the planet. the technology does not have any intentions, and the technology, which is tools or technology, can be built to can be created to build or destroy. The same knife which can be used for medical surgeries to save human lives can also be used to kill human beings. So it is about our own intentions, that how we are using technology. So there are three things that we should be careful about these artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence having the great, huge potential, a huge power, not only for good, for a lot of opportunities, for the way it is, impacting our lives in a positive way. It is helping people in healthcare, as well as in the finance, and for restoring planet, but also can cause great harm. And then how we steer it, and what is the destination. For example, if you bought a high power engine car, and you don't know how to steer it properly, you don't know how to, and there are no safety measures, such as there's no traffic rules, there's no seat belts, or no airbags, then, and if you're not careful, then how do we steer these cars, then obviously it can lead to disaster, and we can take any road, and we can create havoc in our journey. And if we are not careful about the destination, then it can lead us to any path which we can sleepwalk into the path which we never wanted to go. So with these artificial intelligence, with these technologies, it is important that we should have safety measures, such as the ethical use of the technology, the government policies, the global cooperation, and inclusivity, so that the artificial intelligence should not be focused only for certain group or ethnicity or certain nationality, but it should help all the individuals and all the people on the planet, and not only the people, not only the human beings, but also the all the other creatures who are sharing the planet with us. And we should know how to steer these technologies effectively, so that it should only be used for the benefit of humanity. And where do we want to go with these technologies, that we need to decide before we start using these technologies. So artificial intelligence is like a genie. It is like, whatever you ask artificial intelligence, it is going to give you that. And it is a reflection of who we are as a society. It just magnifies our reality, whether good or bad. If we are good as a human being, with the help of artificial intelligence, we can create a lot of goodness and lot of positive impact on our society, on our planet, or on our environment. But if we do not have good intentions, then it can lead to catastrophic and disasters. Then currently we have, with these technologies, we have new sets of challenges, such as inequality, discrimination, misinformation, and digital nudging, persuasion, deepfakes. So how artificial intelligence is creating more and more inequality. So as we can see from this figure, artificial intelligence, well, when we are using our social media platforms, when we use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all our data is being captured, is being processed to understand who are you as a person, what is your expenditure, what is your expense potential, and what is your financial background, what is your educational background, what are your choices, and what is that motivates you, what are your likes and dislikes. So social media platforms, they know us more than we know ourselves. And if they know us, if they are aware about our financial conditions, if they know whether we are going to like that particular product or not, they show us feeds according to that. So how does it increase inequality? So let me share an interesting story with you. So there were two friends, John and Steve. John was from an affluent family. His father was working as a banking professional, and John would go to vacations to foreign countries. He used to buy expensive clothes and partying at the best of the locations. But on the other side, Steve was and his father, uh, he was working as a daily wage laborer who has less spending capacity. And although Steve was highly inclined towards education than John, but with the social media, their activities, since they already knew social media platforms, they knew the expenditure, the expense capacity of John and Steve. So when both started for graduation, both were looking for colleges to enter for to go for graduation degree. John was given the recommendation of colleges which were quite good, with great facilities, great opportunities, and costlier colleges, while Steve was not given the recommendation of those colleges. So John ended up getting into the college which had higher opportunities, more facilities, better faculties, more research scholars as faculties. But Steve was given an education in a simple college, while John, when they started studying and when John passed out from the college, he had better opportunities with higher salary and he could utilize on his network, while Steve, he just got into a simple job, although Steve was more inclined towards education. So this is how, with the help with artificial intelligence, when they know about our data, and if it is not uh, created in the interest of everybody, but if the artificial intelligence is created only for the benefit of extracting profit, it creates inequality at a larger scale. And then misinformation. Well, we all would have heard about this story as a child, that there was a notorious boy in the village, and he would always prank uh, about tiger, that okay, tiger has come save me, and all the villagers would start running to save him. And once the villagers would come, the this guy would just say that it was a prank, and he would laugh aloud. But what happens is, sorry, please let me know if I'm audible. Sorry, I got disconnected.
Yes, yes, you're audible, and even the presentation is visible.
All right. So Yeah. So once actually what happened that he got a tiger, and tiger actually came, but when he started looking for help and he started shouting for tiger, tiger, but actually nobody came for help. So what we learned from this is that since uh, in this technological era, when the flow of misinformation, how can it be detrimental to our social fabric? And most of the time, misinformation and fake information flows, and it is said that misinformation flows much more than the actual truth, and people have tendency to believe fake information and misinformation than the actual truth. But the real challenge is when people start believing the truth as false. Then that is a real challenge. And in this case, when people started believing that this person always speaks lie, then actually it was killed by the tiger. So, and then we have digital nudging. One of the greatest challenge that we're facing in the technological era is digital nudging, and we are constantly bombarded by this news feed, the emails, the message from all the apps that we have downloaded in our digital devices, our Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and Netflix, and all these buying applications that we have, and constantly popping up on our screen, which is stealing away our mental peace, leaving us more distracted and unfocused, and our inability to act. And and sometimes these digital nudges, they also, and since our childhood we have been nudged, we are always constantly being nudged since our childhood. When we were like 5 years old child, then we were nudged by our parents that to complete our homework, to eat on time, to get up on time, and a lot of things, so that it changes our behavior. And also the nudging happens at personal and professional level, and it changes our behavior. Sometimes it is used for the positive nudging, when our parents nudged us during our childhood, then it had a positive impact to change our behavior, to influence our behavior. But now in the with the technology, these nudges are also used to change our behavior, and these nudges has a profound impact on our decisions and our actions, and since our lives are based on our decisions, it influences every decision that we take, influences the kind of lives that we have. So actually the digital nudging is influencing our lives, and most of the time we have fear of missing out if we are not on social media platforms. And these are the shortcomings of our own emotional challenges are being utilized by all our favorite applications. So the mental dilemma that we're facing today is it has been crafted in a poem. It's like, I was chasing money and security, and my heart never unclenched. I cared about people's approval, and I became their prisoner. I traveled my own path, and I found my way to serenity. And most of the time in our social media, the day of in the era of social media platforms, we are constantly, we most of us, as soon as we wake up with our digital devices, checking our social media feeds, contents, videos, and if we do not have our phones, we feel a near-death experience. We are constantly looking for validation, instant gratification, and all these of our shortcomings are being utilized by our social media platforms, giving us constant validation, reward systems, recommendation, so that we spend more time on our social media platform so that they can show the contents they want you to show us. They want us to see the videos they want us to watch, so that they can influence our behavior, they can influence our thinking, and to have a more polarized, sometimes to have more polarized views, or sometimes to have some political inclination, or to influence our thinking towards political groups, or to certain individuals. And then materialism. Artificial intelligence has also exponentially increased the growth of materialism and consumerism. With all these digital nudging, all these favorite applications are actually installing the buy button in our brains. The things that once they know that the kind of contents that you like, the kinds of videos that you like, and based on all these contents, based on all our digital residue that we have left on our digital devices, they know us, what we are going to like, what we are going to buy, and they're showing the contents, they're showing the products that which we do not need but which we might want, and actually installing the buy button so that we click more, we buy more, and in turn they create more profit. So what is the challenge with buying more? If we have if we can buy more, what is the challenge? Well, at the one side, all our platforms, all these industry giants are making enough profit by selling you the products with many lucrative offers, a lot of discount. But on the other hand, we are getting into unending loop of consumerism. And we need to understand that while the technology and products are accessible to one part of the country or to one part of the world, there is a cost to at another part of the world. And the cost is the cost of exploitation, the cost of environment, and the cost of forced labor. And we need to be careful about that. Technology should not alleviate poverty or inequality at the cost of providing better products to one part of the world. And then we have fake news that grows exponentially because you share it, either because you validate it, because it validates your beliefs, or you don't know that it's fake. And as a consumer, we all are responsible, not only the developer and creator of the technology, but also as a consumer and as a society, we all are responsible for the challenges that we are facing today in our in the technological era. For example, in case of fake news, if we do not share it, if we do not like it, then it will not grow exponentially. It will not reach to so many people at the rate at which it reaches. And now we have deep fakes where the artificial intelligence, it can, even if you are not speaking, but it can make with the help of deep fakes, it can have somebody's else face and someone else voices, and it can make you look that even if you have not said something, but it looks that it is the true thing. And while we are celebrating right now the deep fakes and these fake news, it can have a very catastrophic effect. It can erode our social fabric. So next time when we share something, next time when we are sharing any news, we first need to check the validity of those news, and then we should share it. And then data ownership. Now with artificial intelligence, also there are many challenges such as data ownership and data privacy. And so, for example, in this case, these boys, they had party, and they clicked pictures, they took selfies, and they posted in the social media by tagging their friends. But one of the friend, suppose this Steve, he was a teetotaler. He never drank, and he did not eat non-vegetarian. That's how his family believed. But when his photograph was posted on the social media while he was drinking, his family got really upset about it. And since so, we should be careful about if it is our own photograph, it is our own data, then how we are sharing our data, and also how we are sharing others' data, where now the data ownership plays a role over here. And then data spying. With the help of technology, as we discussed, with technology, now you're constantly under observation, you're constantly under surveillance. Whatever activities that you're doing is that you're being watched. And the social media platforms that we are using it, thinking that everything is free, but actually it has a different way to extract profit from you, and that is our own data. Data is the new currency. So once John was very nice guy, and a very friendly guy, and he invited all his friends to his house, and he said that you all can come to my house at any time, and you can have free food, you can have free drink, you can watch television, and you can use free internet. And they all were happy about it. But then John said, but there's one thing I want from you, is that there will be a camera in my house, and you'll be watched every single minute, whatever you do. And also, I want your bank transaction details, with whom you talk, what music you listen to, and your health records, and everything I want. But everything is free. So now we understand that although all these food, our internet, and everything was free, but it was actually, he was extracting the data in a different way. And then his friends became skeptical. So when it comes to social media platform, when it comes to free applications, free social media platforms, why are we not skeptical about sharing our data? So as a consumer, we need to ask ourselves if the technology is making me more efficient, if the technology is making me more dependent on it. Am I becoming slaves to technology? Can I live for an entire day without technology and my digital devices and work efficiently at the same time? And is technology making me more dumb or smarter? Or am I losing trust in my own abilities? So if we are able to answer these questions, then we will have better clarity on how we are using our technology. And as it is said that technology should be used to empower us, but not to enslave us. And any technology any technology is created for the benefit of our human beings. But if it is not utilized, if it is not used in the right manner, we can become slaves to the technology, and which is not the best way to deal with these technologies. And then as a creator of the technology, we need to ask ourselves, is technology is harming others physically, mentally, or spiritually? Is the technology created with the right objectives and right intentions? And what are the short-term and long-term implications of using these powerful technologies? So let me share another story with you for short-term and long-term implications. So there was a king, Midas, and he was a very greedy king. And once he wished everything he touches should turn to gold. And he exactly got what he wished for. His food, his drink, his relatives, they all turned into gold. And the king died in misery and starvation. So if we do not align our values with the values of machines, then the results can be really catastrophic. So, and as Aristotle said, well, we are, in order to being ethical, even when nobody is watching. And Aristotle said, to be happy in life, we must be ethical. So thank you, everyone. I'll be ending my session now. So please let me know if you have any questions.
As usual, an absolutely amazing session, ma'am.
Thank you, Smriti, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
So there are a few questions, but I would like to start by asking, being a woman trying to get in ethical AI, to ask people to adapt to it, how challenging do you feel this kind of a thing will be? Do you think that relates? Because you being a woman, there are very few, if I'm not wrong, most of the women are creating awareness on ethical AI. So maximum are women. So do you think it is challenging to ask people and let them adopt it?
Well, it is challenging not only as a woman, but also without gender bias, because like most of the people are celebrating about the technology, and since it is challenging because the creators of the technology are mostly profit driven, they have a profit driven mindset, and people have a notion that if we talk about the ethics and the right way of using these technologies, it might affect their profit, and and it might limit the use of technology. So creating awareness, definitely we have to be very convincing about when we create awareness about the technology, and focusing on the more critical challenges which everybody agrees, but it is mostly overlooked by most of the people.
There's a question by one of the participants. Is there any AI code of ethics?
AI code of ethics. Okay. Well, most of the now there are many groups which are working on creating awareness on AI ethics, and for creating a better technology. As we discussed about the car, using the car, the power and steering and destination, and also the airbags and traffic signals. But although first thing is that we should know how to drive car, how to steer it properly, and similarly with the technology, we should know how to steer it properly. We should have the right intentions and right objectives, and that requires ethical character. And as it is said that uh, legal is a test of smart, and ethics is a test of character. So we need to be ethically correct. And second thing is, we need to have strong policies, the way we have licenses when we are driving. When we are looking for driving on the road, we require licenses, right? So even with these technologies, we should have proper licensing, and the proper regulation should be done, so that it is not used for for the destructive purpose. And Yes, and another thing is, this requires a global cooperation. So not only economists, not only developers, politicians, but philosophers, software engineers, consumers, and every stakeholders should have their say in order to create better technology, more responsible technology. So
Right.
does that answer the question?
Absolutely, ma'am. Ma'am, I always, I have been associated with you for a very long time, and I know how much of an effort you're putting in creating awareness in both the things, in promoting technology, people to adopt technology, and adding ethical values to it. So I have this question: what was your inspiration in starting something like this? How did you come to that conclusion that yes, this is good, technology is good, but yes, ethics is something which is crucial, which has to be thought of right now itself?
Thank you for asking this question. It's an interesting question. So when I started learning about the technology, and I started learning Python and coding the way every student learns, but while I was checking in social media, and I got introduced to deep fakes, and all these challenges. So it started ticking in my head that, okay, if it is not created in the right way, if there is no policy, if there is no concern, and if your people are just using the way it is, then, and if it leads into nefarious hands, it can be very challenging for people who are getting affected by it. And also, when we talk about artificial use of artificial intelligence in case of recruitment, and I strongly believe that everybody should have the chance to improve their current situations. And but with these technologies, we start quantifying people based on their previous skill set, based on their previous experiences. But life is not a linear graph. It is uh, you know crest
True,
and
ma'am.
straws. Sometimes we have
Absolutely. And I'm sure, being a women entrepreneur and a global leader, you must be facing such challenges. And every day you do, everything you do every day is an inspiration for you. And you are an inspiration to us, ma'am. So thank you
thank you.
so much. Thank you so much for being with us today. It was absolutely amazing to have you. As usual, it is amazing to have you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please be there with us for a few more minutes. So thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. first and foremost, I would like to wish all the beautiful women out there a very happy International Women's Day. You deserve to be cherished. Thank you so much. Over to you, Suruchi.
Ma'am. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ma'am, your insights upon everything that you've said today when it comes to ethics and how you've talked about the John and Steve story, we are taking something with us. We're going to make sure that we sit back and go and make sure we are going to, look back at whatever you've said today and understand and make sure that we amplify that our peers, our seniors, our juniors are also going to sit and understand the importance of ethics. Before we go ahead, I'd like to take a few moments to thank my mentors and supporters for the event. We are blessed for the constant support and encouragement from Honorable Professor Dr. Mangesh Karaj Sir, Executive President and Vice Chancellor, MIT ADT University. A big thank you to our mentors, Dr. Anand Chakradev Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Mahesh Chopre Sir, Registrar, MIT ADT University, for their constant cooperation and motivation in such events. I extend my sincere appreciation to all the deans, directors, HOIs, and HODs at MIT ADT University. Your support encourages us to progress and flourish. I'm thankful to our ecosystem partners who supported and guided us throughout the International Virtual Summit. A huge thank you to the knowledge partners, University at Buffalo, Blockchain Think Lab, California Science and Technology University, Center for Finance, Technology and Entrepreneurship, and Natalie EV Consulting. Huge thank you to our technology partners, Asset Rush, Kaleido, Big IT, Paymonk, Innovise, Steezy, Settlement, Securo, Robotex India, and Radacat. A big thank you to our education partners, Microsoft, Salesforce, Atos, SAP, Edupeer, AI-Beehive, CloudThat, and Skills Factory. To our community partners, OVASP Foundation, Women in Cybersecurity and Privacy, InfoSec Girls, India Blockchain Forum, Global Blockchain Business Council, Women in Blockchain Talks, and MKAI. To our innovation partners, AIC MIT ADT Incubator Forum, CerebroSpark Innovations LLP. To our certification partner, True Scholar, and to our digital partner, Brand Niti Integrated Strategic Marketing and Advertising Agency. Finally, I'd like to thank the audience from the bottom of my heart who took out their precious time and joined us today. I request you to kindly share your valuable feedback. The link will be in the chat box shortly, or you could look it up on your screens. Let us meet once again using the very same link at 10:30 a.m. for the session, Leave Your Legacy Behind. It's time to modernize endpoint security by Ms. Neha Dhyani, Senior Security Consultant, Nokia, Melbourne, Australia. We hope to see you soon. Thank you very much for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you so much.